Welcome. So this is the part 3 of the project. We are building the e-commerce AI system. So in this tutorial, we are going to learn about the DB loader file. So in the previous two videos, we have seen how we are going to generate the data for the to train our models and how to save the data into the Postgres. So now it's time to connect to the Postgres and use that data to feed to ML. Okay, let's understand. So if you see the first step, okay, why this file is required? So the very simple questions, why we require this file? So this file is responsible to load the data from the database and prepare it for machine learning models. Okay, so step one, we are defining important libraries. So we're using Pandas libraries and SQLAlchemy to create the database engine. And step two, so here, okay, in step one, we define the database connection string and create engine that allows Python to communicate with the database. Okay, so Mangesh is my username, admin is my database, is a password. So localhost, that is the port number is 5432 is the standard, and the database I'm connecting is a ecom. Okay, so this is how the step two. In the step three, we have this function called load and pre-process. Okay, so this function load the data for a specific product called, we have a product P1 as you can see. In a step 4, we are collecting, since we are able to connect to the database, and we are fetching this particular record from the table called e-commerce. Okay, so what are the column we are selected? That is a date, orders, stock, capacity. So let's understand this columns. What is date? So date is a uh, is is the column when the orders are placed. Okay, orders are the number of orders that are placed during that particular day and how much stock was available during the orders was placed. The capacity, how much data, how much orders can be processed in a one day. So this is how we have collected data into the variable called query. So now in step 5, what we are going to do, this line, but so this particular line, okay, this particular line going to execute a query and load result into the pandas data frame. Okay, so we're using a pandas data frame to load data. Okay, so let's consider this pandas equivalent to the excel in python. Okay, of course we have a testing also. I'll show you the in detail. So we will test how does it look like. Okay, yeah, and the step 6, we have the safety check. Of course we shouldn't have any empty data to train our AI model to avoid the errors in the future. Okay, and of course in step 7 it is going to return the data frame. So in a nutshell, we are using the clean data frame which will be used to train our AI models. So how does it the flow like? So flow is like connecting to the Postgres, then fetch the queries, then feed the data in the pandas data frame, and then we are going to train the AI models. Okay, so before we train our AI models, let's understand how the data looks like. So I have a testing file, let me just show you before we move into the testing part. So why do we need this file? As I mentioned earlier, so this specific DB loader file is a bridge between our data that we have stored in the Postgres and the data we are going to feed to the ML. Okay, without this there won't be a data and we can't train AI model. So this is the very important file. Okay, and if you see, I have mentioned this particular data string connectivity. So in a production environment we don't use this. We generally put it into the environment file, and we use the environment variable source it, and then we use those particular variable to connect our file into the database. Okay, so now let's start to test the file.